Ray here. What's up, Cash FX Power Team? I have not gone live from the computer in ages, and this is like a airplane dashboard. There are so many options. It's crazy. And so I just want to log in on my phone real quick and verify that we are live in the group. Okay, so I see some comments coming in over here in this little portal. Man, this is pretty cool, actually. Let me see if I can expand this. Okay, that's cool. I can expand it. Just got back from the gym and wanted to hop in here and drop some value for you guys before I grab some dinner. Look at that. It's working. Okay, so if you're popping in here and you're catching this live, drop a 1 in the comments right now, along with the country that you're tuning in from. Drop a live if you're catching this. Drop a 1 if you're catching this live. There we go. Watson Rocky, welcome to the call. Sheik, what's going on, bro? We got some people popping in here now. Good. So you saw the topic of the live stream says how to follow up properly with your webinar guests and close the deal. Come get educated. So we're going to get started in just 30 seconds. Tag your members. I know it's 6 o'clock, so it's late in the UK. It's late in Europe and many other parts of the world. Most of you will be catching this on the replay. So good morning to our replay viewers from the UK and Europe and all over the other parts of the world. I'm just reading that comment. Sheik says, I withdrew 50K plus. Wow. And that withdrawal was probably paid out pretty quickly to your Bitcoin wallet, because that's what we've come to love here about Cash FX. One of the many benefits is the speed of withdrawals and the consistency. So we've got some people popping in here now. Tag your partners, tag anybody, tag everybody, because I'm going to drop some value. It's going to be a short live stream today, jam-packed with some really big value. So yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I was talking with Jeremy. Jeremy is one of our Monday presenters. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull this up here real quick. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the mastermind chat. And so Jeremy had reached out to me, and I'm going to just share with you a little bit of our conversation because it's huge. Sally says, I was going to bed, but what's up, Mercy? Frank waiting for the U.S. to open. What's up? So, basically, we were talking a little bit about the webinars, driving traffic to the webinars, right? Getting your friends and your family members and your prospects, your Facebook friends, suspects, whoever it is, to the webinar so that they can see the company. The transparency, the integrity, the consistency, the community, the unity, right? So that they can come and feel what you feel. Because it's really hard for you to, it's really hard for me to. I mean, it takes a lot of energy, and you want to say the right things when you're introducing Cash FX to somebody for the very first time. And then all of a sudden you don't shut up and you're blah, 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 and you're talking about I get paid 10 levels down and they're giving out Porsches and this thing is amazing and, 100K contracts, and your prospect is like this, huh? In fact, when you do that on your prospect, within the first 2 or 3 minutes of that conversation, they shut you off and all they see is this. They don't hear anything because it's too complicated. And I know that's what you want to do because you're excited, because that's what I still find myself doing that. When I get somebody that is interested in learning about this company, I have to throttle myself back, like they put a governor on some of these cars so it only goes so fast. I've had to install a governor on myself. You guys, I know you have, we're all the same. And so let's jump into it. You want to drive them to the webinar. You want to let the Power Team's panel of trained professional presenters share this business with your prospects. That's number one. If somebody wants to take some notes in the comments for me and just repeat some of the bullet points, or if somebody wants to take some notes and actually, Sally, maybe you could write down some notes. Number one is how to drive prospects to the webinar. You don't want to explain the business. You want to get them to the webinar. And we have added an element for you to do that with much more ease. Who knows what that element is? Bitcoin giveaways. This week we kicked it up another notch, and we're giving away free $300 packages, but in the end of the day, we're giving away Bitcoin. At the end of the week, 6 times 6, right? $600 a day times 6 is $3,600 in Bitcoin is going to be paid forward by Luigi and I from our own wallet, not from the company's, so that you guys have an easier means of inviting your guests. Hey, come and take a look at this company that has changed my life in the last 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 2 weeks, whatever. And by the way, you have an opportunity to win some free Bitcoin, or you have a chance to win a free $300 automated trading pack. Put your wallet away. Just get to the webinar. Okay? So that's the first thing. How to drive the prospects to the webinar. Very simple. Now, if you're following our attraction marketing blueprints on the website, right? If you're doing your Facebook Lives, listen, Jeremy, I'm going to use Jeremy because I'm telling you, this dude is the student of students. I mean, what we have put together, he has implemented, and in the last 2 weeks, from what he has implemented, he has literally skyrocketed his business. And so in 2 weeks, he's grown from a no rank to executive. And he's on his way to manager. And so you want to follow those blueprints. If you're following the blueprints, guess what? You don't have to prospect anybody. You don't have to cold message. You don't have to hit them up in the inbox because they're going to reach out to you. Guaranteed they're going to reach out to you if you follow the blueprints. If you're doing those live streams, if you're showing people your life and giving them an opportunity to know you, like you, and trust you, and then you share good content, and then you drop some seeds here and there about making this and making that and hands-free and automated, and before you know it, your inbox is blowing up and people are saying, hey Zane, hey John, hey Sheik, hey Nino, what are you talking about? How can I get involved? Follow the blueprints. Now, once somebody reaches out to you, or if you want to go call a friend, and it's okay to call a friend and say, hey, listen, here's the number one question you want to ask. Hey, Joe, have you ever made any money from the global Forex market? Question number one, have you ever made any money from the global Forex market? And then shut up. Don't ask 5 questions in a row. Sometimes we tend to do that. You ask one question. Have you ever made any money from the global Forex market? Now, you may get a whole plethora of responses. You may get everything from yes, lost all my money, to no, never even heard about it, and everywhere in between, okay? Whatever the answer is, it really doesn't matter. Your second question, hold on a second. Your second question is real simple. If I, would you, right? How many of you heard of if I, would you? That's how you get people to open up to the possibility of doing whatever you're asking them to do. Hey, Joe, if I sent you some of my results so you could see how we're making money every day in the market, would you be willing to attend a webinar this week where one of our presenters is going to show you how the platform works, and you'll have a chance to win some free Bitcoin so you can actually get started with no money out of pocket. Put your wallet away, Joe. If I, would you? Just like John Bone said, if I send you the link, would you jump on the call? Listen, that's even simpler. If I send you the link to the webinar where you can win some free Bitcoin, would you jump on the call? If I would, you. So, okay, so that's it. That's how simple it is. Get them to the webinar. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Monday, Tuesday. We've been doing this for 90 days. It was a 90-day blitz. We decided to continue it because of the success and the growth of our organization. Now they get to the webinar and they watch the webinar. Now here's the value. We're going to kick it up another notch. How do you close a deal? What do you do once somebody has visited the webinar? Once they've gone to the webinar and they've seen it, now if they've paid, I have a real little, it's another mantra that I've lived by in network marketing. Show them the plan. 4 words. Write that down. Show them the plan. How can somebody make a decision on your business, our business, CashFX, if you do not show them the plan? They must look to learn, to be able to make an educated decision on whether or not where they want to get started. Everybody has to go through that process, right? Like John says, the penny has to drop. Where does the penny drop? The penny drops in the webinars. And again, we are our team of professional presenters is trained to let people know they don't need to leave the webinar and be an expert. That's not the goal here. The goal here is not to be an engineer and understand the full blueprint. The goal here is to see the vision and jump in. And so that's what our presenters are trained to do. So they attend the webinar. What do you do? What do you do? So Jeremy sends me a couple of screenshots. And again, I'm using Jeremy as an example. I don't even know if he's on here. I see Shane. I see Chinadum, who just joined. Listen, this guy just joined. He won a free pack. And here he is on this live stream, plugging in, picking up value, and ready to explode his business. So let me go to Jeremy. And let me just bring this up. And so Jeremy sends me a message. And he says here, let me just go back to the beginning. So he just gave me, this is how our conversation started. He basically said, man, why don't people pay attention? And that's what you're going to realize is when you create a post about something exciting like a Bitcoin giveaway, keeping it very, keeping yourself very vague. And you get 100 comments, and then you send them all the information to the webinar, and then you find out maybe out of the 100, only 3 of them showed up, and then you follow up, and they say, well, I missed the information. Can I join again? You realize people are distracted. I said, that's what we deal with, follow up until you feel like they really aren't interested anymore. The fortune is in the follow-up. So he sends me this, and he says, so this is what Jeremy was doing initially. And so this is a screenshot of his conversation with one of his prospects. Hey, what's up? Hope you well. Did you join one of our calls yet to enter in the competition? Okay, so he's leading off with the free Bitcoin. That's the first mistake. You don't want, the value of the webinar is not the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is the hook to get them to the webinar. That is not the bait. You understand? So he says, did you join? Pay attention, guys. I'm telling you, value. My dinner is on the table right now, but this is right here. And so I said, I got to do, my wife said, hurry up. I said, I got to do this because this is what's going to help you guys explode your business. Did you join one of our calls? He says, hi there. Yes, I have been on both calls so far. Jeremy says this, awesome, bro. Hopefully you can win tonight. That will be awesome. Mistake number 2. And I'm sure that Jeremy is okay with me sharing some of his mistakes because, listen, if you're not making mistakes, you're not trying. It's the mistakes we make that get us to be better at our craft. Trust me, I have made millions of mistakes. I still make mistakes. I am a student of the game, you guys. I am not an expert. I don't claim to be an expert, and I am still honing my own craft. So, second mistake. First mistake, he led with the value in the webinar is the free Bitcoin. And the second mistake was this. Listen, this guy showed up. He's been to 2 webinars. He was perfectly set up to close. And Jeremy says, well, maybe you can win. So now the guy's thinking, no matter what Jeremy says next, he's thinking, you know what? I'm going to keep going until I win that free Bitcoin. Okay. So pay attention here. He said, sending these out. I said, try not to push for the win. Then you will delay the sign up. If you want to delay that person from signing up and helping that person make money and change their life, then continue to lead with the Bitcoin. I would have said this, and I shared this in our mastermind group, and I know some of you that are in that mastermind shared it with your groups. I saw it, so kudos to you. I would have said this, awesome. So he would have said, yes, I attended 2 calls so far. Awesome. What did you like most about the company and the presentation? One question, shut up. Follow-up question. So he's going to have some good feedback. If he was on there and he paid attention, surely he's going to have some good feedback. There's no way somebody can come to one of our webinars and not walk away like they had a firecracker stuck up their butt, super excited to get started. I'm sorry. That's how we feel. So my follow-up question after he says, yeah, it was great, the transparency, and I'm gonna read an example of one, because after I gave Jeremy this training, he started using it, and you're going to be blown away by the change in response he got. And in 3 days, he got enough volume to kick him to executive. By the way, in the chat, how many people, if you're ranked up and you're watching this webinar right now, please let me know what rank you are in the chat. I want to come back and congratulate every single one of you. If you're executive, type executive. If you're manager, type manager. If you're director, type director. And if you're on here and you're Luigi, type President's Club. So, my follow-up question would have been this. Awesome. Awesome. What trading pack would you like to get started with? I started with blank space, and now I'm on blank space. Okay? So, for me, it would have been something like this. Awesome, Joe. What trading pack are you thinking about getting started with? I started with the $1,000 pack 6 months ago, and I'm now on the $100,000 pack. Shut up. You don't have to say anything else in that messenger conversation except let them read where you're at and decide what pack they want to join on. Jeremy says, nice. I like this. Always be closing. ABC, ABC, ABC. There's an audio message here. Actually, let's listen to it.
If you think about this, it would be more advantageous for him. I mean, just think what Shane said. And you should be using this in your pitches, you know. Shane's testimony.
Let me know if you guys can hear this.
His first thought was, I can't afford to spend $300 right now. I'm in the hole. But then his immediate follow-up thought was, I can't afford not to. And so that guy right there, this is a perfect example of somebody that would be much better off financially getting started. And then rather than coming to webinar after webinar after webinar hoping to win, coming to webinar after webinar, inviting people, giving...
You think about what Shane said in his testimony the other day. When him and I first spoke back in November, Shane was not in a good situation financially. He's on this live stream. I know that he's okay with me saying that. He was not in a good position financially because the thought crossed his mind at first, how can I afford to invest $300 in this thing? But then quickly, his mindset went to, how can I afford not to? You understand? So the question then lies, what trading pack would you like to get started with? And I started with the $300 7 months ago, and I'm already on the $10,000, $50,000, $70,000. Whatever your situation is, be honest and truthful always with every single prospect. You absolutely are correct. I need to be closing. Thanks for the tip. Right now, I'm ignorance on fire. And that's a lot of us when we get started in this business. We are ignorance on fire. We don't know any better, but we are literally on fire, and we want everybody to know how amazing this company is. Okay? What's going on, DJ? Who's getting some value here right now? Drop a hashtag value in the comments, and we're going to wrap this up here in the next 5 minutes. The guidance will help me a lot, he says. Now, here's where it gets really, really cool. What's going on, Jace? By the way, Jace, it's great to see you back online. You look at peace. You look rested, and I can only imagine how more explosive your business is going to be with that little bit of break. Jace, we're glad you're back with us, brother. So then here's a new conversation. Okay, here's a new conversation. This is from a new prospect. So he asked him, did you attend the webinar? And this was this guy's response. So he said yes. And so Jeremy says, awesome, brother. What did you like best about the company and the call? Okay, so now he's implemented the training he literally just learned 5 minutes ago with a couple of new prospects. I'm going to read this verbatim. It's reliable, transparent, well known all over the world, and registered, not like other companies who aim to take other people's money. Man, I like everything about it. I got to tell you something, guys. I feel like if your guest comes and actually pays attention, if they're not on their phone and they're not talking to their wife or they're not playing their Xbox and they're watching the presentation, this is everybody's response. I'm fired up, can you tell? Man, I like everything about it. I'm very much interested joining you guys soon. I'm just putting up together the investment amount, then get back to you. Hope it won't be too late. Okay? Jeremy's response. What was question number 2? What trading pack would you like to get started with? Question mark. I always use 2 question marks, because it emphasizes the fact that you want them to answer that question. They won't scroll over it most of the time. I started with a $1,000 contract 2 months ago, and now I'm on the 7K. That's going to energize your prospect. Okay? Works like a dream. Flame. Let's listen to this.
Lastly, don't be afraid to use Shane.
Okay.
Put him on.
Shane, I don't know if you heard this, but I'm going to play it.
Don't be afraid to use Shane. Pester him. Put him on calls. Introduce your friends to Shane. Just an introduction call. Just a quick WhatsApp. I mean, Shane's putting me on calls every day, every week. Just 3, 4, 5-minute introduction calls.
Okay, so what I'm telling him is put those prospects on the phone with Shane. Now, Shane is the man that brought Cash FX to South Africa. He was the first. Let me introduce you to my business partner, Shane, who brought this opportunity to our country. 3-minute call. Just introduce. Third-party credibility. Shane gets on and says, hey, man, I noticed you were on the webinar. Jeremy was saying some really great things about you. I know you're excited to get started, man. I just want to say congratulations and welcome to the team. Your third-party person should always end every single call with congratulations, welcome to the team. That's always be closing. That's the soft close. So when they walk away from that call, they're already thinking, I'm on the team. Okay? Let's continue and wrap it up here. So, use your person and your sponsor. Use your sponsor. Use your upline. Listen, if you need to use me, if you need to use Luigi, just let's work. Let's put the time and the energy and the effort in. Okay? So, this is really funny. He sends me another one. Same thing. Awesome, bro. Hopefully you can win tonight. That will be awesome. Then he follows up day later, says, what did you like most about the company and the call? The guy says, to be honest, everything that you can, and that you can actually learn through CFX to trade. Our product, the academy, the trading company, that piece is critical to what we're doing here, guys. Even if people will never intend to use it or intend to use it and never do, it's a key piece that keeps us compliant here. It's our education. We are an education company first and foremost. So he says, to be honest, everything, and that you can actually learn through CFX to trade. And again, what trading pack would you like to get started with? Question mark. I started with the $1,000 2 months ago, and now I'm on 7K. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to try and hide this guy's name. Anyway, let me see if I can do this. I'm going to hide his name here because I want you guys to see this. Okay, let me turn this around. Okay, so that's his... that is his profile, and it says, if you doing Bitcoin, Forex, or trading, don't invite me to be your friend. I am not interested. Thanks. And this guy is joining CashFX. Absolutely amazing, you guys. He says, check his response. I said, that funny. We went back and forth, back and forth. That's how you close your guests to the webinar, with two simple questions. What did you like most about the company and presentation? And then what trading pack are you thinking about getting started with? I started with the X pack, and I'm currently 6 months ago, and I'm now on this pack. That's it. Let him take that in. Figure out where it goes from there. They might be ready. They might need another webinar. They might really need the money, and so you put them in another call. But you don't make that decision for your prospect. You never make a money-based decision for your prospect. And that's it. Show them the plan, get them in the webinar, follow up correctly, and close the deal. Luigi talked about this on today's call. I'm going to close with this because I want you guys all thinking about this. What is better for your prospect? Is it better for your prospect to come to a webinar hoping to get free Bitcoin, which is okay, because listen, be honest, that's what they're all coming for. They don't know how great this is. They don't know the trend. They don't know any of the details. They just know they're coming for a chance to win some Bitcoin. So what's better for your prospect? Coming day after day after day, hoping to win some Bitcoin, or getting started and using the webinars to explode out of the gate and invite their friends and prospects to come and win some Bitcoin? Because when a prospect wins Bitcoin, we all win Bitcoin. The whole upline wins Bitcoin. When Joe wins Bitcoin and creates his contract, the sponsor gets a fast start bonus, and then 9 more levels up gets the unilevel. And so everybody wins. That's the mindset. Now, if your prospect comes back, I'm going to give you just one more bonus. If your prospect comes back and says, you know what, I really need to win, or I really can't afford. Remember what Shane said. I always tell, if they say I can't afford to get started, I always say, if you can't afford to get started, son, you can't afford not to get started. I'm going to get, these are bonus tips right now because my wife is calling me. This is bonus. When somebody tells you they don't have the money, it's never about the money. I'm going to repeat that. When somebody says, Jace, Luigi, Shane, whoever, when somebody says to you, I just don't have the money, it's never about the money. You know where I learned that from? Ray Higdon, 4 years ago. I can remember the training that I watched, and my mindset changed instantly, because before that training, when somebody would tell me that they didn't have the money, I would feel so down for them, and that would end the call. Oh man, call me when you get the money. No. It's never about the money. I'm going to give you an example. You know why we know it's never about the money? That prospect drops their iPhone in a toilet. In 2 days, they're going to have a brand new iPhone. Who believes that? Put a yes in the comments. If somebody you know tells you they don't have the money to start CashFX, but they drop their brand new Android or iPhone or S20 in the toilet, you better believe that within 2 days, they're going to have a brand new phone, cost them $1,000. You know why? Because they see that phone is valuable. And so if they aren't ready to join CashFX, the simplest thing for them to tell you is, I don't have the money. That's the simplest thing for them to tell you. I just don't have the money. What they're really saying is, I don't see any value in your company. I don't see how that could help me get from point A to point Z. I don't see how that can help me live the lifestyle that I desire. And so it's much easier for your prospect to say, I just don't have the money. It's not about the money. It's never about the money, you guys. One of the comebacks that I like to say is this. Man, out of all of the people I spoke to this week, and Joe, I must have spoken to 1,000. Nobody, and I say it sincerely, nobody needs this more than you, Joe. And I know you're going to find a way to get that 300 bucks. That's it. That's it. In fact, Joe, make sure you're on the webinar tomorrow because there's a good chance you could win tomorrow. And then again, webinar after webinar, maybe they just need 2 or 3 webinars for it to click, for the penny to drop, and for them to go out and do whatever it takes to get $300 to get started. And you tell them, Joe, once you're in, you can now start inviting members. And every time somebody else joins, Joe, you get a fast start bonus. Go borrow that $300 from your grandma Betsy because in 2 or 3 days, you're going to be able to pay it back, dude. Guys, I want to see every single one of you on stage at the Punta Cana event. We want to see every single one of you hitting ranks that you've never hit in your life. We want to see every single one of you do what so many of our members are doing and fire your boss, escape the matrix, and live a life that you never need a vacation from. Mic drop. That's it. Live stream's over. Who found value? Tag your teams. I'm going to drop this on the Vimeo channel, and we're going to kick it out to everybody, and we are going to literally blow it up. With that being said, I got to eat. You guys enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll catch you on the next webinar.